have many favorite films, but of course I obviously have a top 5. I'm gonna go with 5. My favorite films might not be the top in cinema history, but they definitely mean a lot to me personally. First favorite film of mine is The Shawshank Redemption. I remember watching this movie when I was literally like 4 or something, and it was on TV, and I was just so moved by it. The fact that it was based on a writer's work, like a book. When I watched it the first time, I was like, is this like a real story? But of course, like looking back, it's like, oh no, probably not. Everything about that film, I think, was done so well. You know, the casting, the character development, the characters, the story, the triumphant story, the music. I think for me, because I'm very into writing and I have been writing since I was a kid, the way that it's written is so beautifully done, and I'm just such a fan of voiceover in films, but of course voiceover that is done well and written well and is moving.
Send you here for life? That's exactly what they take.
That movie had a really profound impact on me, and I think the origins of me moving into this film career.
There's something inside they can't touch.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
The next favorite film for me is Imitation of Life, done back in I think it's like the 40s or the 50s. The reason I watched this film is because I was just sort of researching into film history, and I'm a mixed race person. Growing up mixed race was a whole identity thing. And many times it felt like an identity crisis, and many times I felt somewhat alone because there wasn't other people like me at that time. So any films to do with identity are really fascinating to me. And this one in particular I really loved because it tells the story of a biracial girl in America. So she's half African American and half Caucasian American. It just tells her story of growing up, and obviously in that time in America it was a very different place. This is before the whole civil rights movement, or around the time the civil rights movement was starting to happen, and African Americans just didn't have the rights they did. So basically she has a whole identity journey through the movie. She has struggles with her mum, and sometimes she blames her mum because her mum is African American, and she just feels like it's her fault at times. And then there's times where she actually tries to pass, and she does pass, but then when people find out, it goes really badly. And you just watch her journey throughout the film of trying to figure out who she is, where she fits, her reactions to things and people, and trying to discover who she is beyond this until the very end, which I won't spoil. It really moved me, and I love going back to it.
Are you happy here, honey? Are you finding what you really want?
I'm somebody else. I'm white.
Another favorite film of mine, and it's honestly a toss-up between these two for me, and that's The Perks of Being a Wallflower and Stuck in Love. So both of these are sort of coming-of-age films, and again, Stuck in Love is about a family of writers.
I remember that it hurt. Looking at her hurt.
Perks of Being a Wallflower is based on the book by Stephen Chbosky, who also directed this film as well. And I think that definitely had an effect on the overall film. You see the vision for how Stephen wanted it. And I think what I really love about this film, and even films based on the John Green novels like Looking for Alaska, is they talk about that experience of going through adolescence and puberty in high school, but they don't shy away from issues like mental health, which is so prevalent in that time. And I think that's so good because, you know, I remember going through that time, and, you know, we can dance around like, oh, it was just high school, but like when you're in that position and you're in high school, specifically grade 10 for me, you're going through mental health issues, it literally does feel like the end of the world sometimes. And obviously it's not. And if you go speak to somebody who's in that age bracket, you have your whole life ahead of you, literally. But in that moment, that's what it feels like. And that's why I love these films.
And in this moment, I swear we are infinite.
Another favorite film of mine, it's a toss-up between, once again, Midnight in Paris and The Great Gatsby, Baz Luhrmann's film. It's to do with writing, once again, that's set in the 20s. You know, The Great Gatsby, it's written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I love the way Baz does film. I love that he goes into production design and he goes into costuming and he puts so much importance on those things, working with his wife, obviously, on those. The music as well.
Jay, stop it!
Right here.
No, Jay!
I think costuming, production design, and music are all things that people sometimes forget about, particularly in indie filmmaking. And I don't think filmmakers realize if you actually emphasize those things that you might not think about, how much it can impact the overall film. So I love that. And Midnight in Paris is just such a feel-good, like, rom-com. Owen Wilson, he's so great to watch. I love time travel and the fact that they go back in time to the 20s and you get to see all the people of that time. You get to see F. Scott Fitzgerald, Salvador Dali, Ernest Hemingway. It's just amazing to get to see actors bring those real people to life in that way, and I just love it.
Scott Fitzgerald. And who are you, old sport?
Gil. The same names as...
As what?
These are my favorite films. I think they definitely showcase who I am and the kind of person that I am and what I care about. And I think they definitely go into the work that I create as well. Obviously, I'm a writer. I was a writer before anything else, and so that's always a massive thing to me. Mental health and identity are all big things to me, and even family, I think, is something that I really love to explore in the work that I create. But yeah, that's my favorite films. If you haven't watched them, have a watch and let me know what you think. Comment down below some of your favorite films so I can put them on my watch list and have a watch. Thanks for watching. Until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.